So let's take it a step further. And this is the real reason you guys are in this webinar, is to learn about lead distribution networks. Now, I may have caught some of you by surprise, but lead distribution networks is why the majority of you here are in the webinar and have websites such as directory websites and membership networks.
So a lead distribution network is similar to a lead generating website. It's just that it goes one step further. Once it collects the leads, instead of the website owner being the one who fulfills the needed services of that lead, the website owner will distribute that lead to its members in its database. So going back to the locksmith example, this would work for a website who has a database of locksmiths. That website will collect leads from people who need locksmiths, and it will go ahead and distribute and sell those leads to their locksmith members.
That's right. So there's 4 pillars to a lead distribution network. You attract visitors, same as a lead generating website. You capture leads, same as a lead generating website. But what makes it a lead distribution network is you distribute those leads to your members, and then your members can choose to purchase those leads. And therefore, you get paid and make money as the person who owns the lead distribution network.
So let's go into another question. You'll be seeing on your screen come up another poll. Do you have or plan to have a database of professional members? The options are yes, no, or I'm thinking about it. If you can go ahead and answer that right now, that would be great. So we'll go ahead and give this a minute.
Okay, we're going to close the poll now. And 75% of people have or are planning to have a database of professional members. That means you are a perfect candidate to own and operate and generate revenue from a lead distribution network. Love it. And this is why a lead distribution model would work best for you guys out there.
So this is for anyone who has a website with a database of those professional members who are able to service the needs of captured leads. And you can then go ahead and make money by selling those leads to your website's members.
That's right. So if you have the technology, you can have a lead distribution network and generate revenue. Here are some examples of lead distribution networks that you may or may not be familiar with. These are some popular ones that we know of. There's probably hundreds of them out in the world. Let's take 1-800-DENTIST, for example. 1-800-DENTIST does not provide any dental work themselves. Members join their network, dentists and orthodontists and other people in the dental industry. And 1-800-DENTIST casts a large web to capture leads from people who need dental work. So people might call 1-800-DENTIST. 1-800-DENTIST has numerous websites where they capture leads. And what they do is they then sell those leads to the professional dental members in their membership network. Thumbtack, HomeAdvisor, and Angie's List work in a similar way. They are a database of members who provide professional services, but the websites themselves don't offer the services themselves. Thumbtack has pet trainers on their website, but they're not training any pets themselves. They capture leads and then sell them to the people who are pet trainers on their websites.
Yeah, all lead distribution networks do essentially is act as the middleman.
They are a middleman for capturing leads. They should provide quality leads and then sell them to their members if they're planning on selling them. And a good thing to know is that these are multi-million-dollar websites. They probably have hundreds and thousands of employees. They're global companies. They probably have subsidiaries and smaller networks as well. But the concepts that we're talking about today, these guys use the same strategies and technology. They probably have lots more in development work, but the fundamentals, the 4 pillars that we spoke about, you can do that with brilliant directories and accomplish what these guys have done as well.
So getting into those 4 pillars, you need to have a database of professional or business members. You're then going to need to have the ability to capture leads from your website visitors, and then the ability to automatically distribute those leads. Now with Brilliant Directories, you do have a feature to automatically distribute those leads. However, as we'll get into a little bit later on, it is best to go ahead and moderate your leads a little bit, filter out any fake or bad leads. That way, your paying members are getting the cream of the crop. And lastly, you'll need the ability for your members to purchase those leads easily and quickly through your website. So once you have these 4 pillars in place, you can focus on driving traffic to your website in order to then go ahead and generate actual revenue from those leads.
Exactly. So, why do people like lead distribution networks? Why are people so successful with them, and why do they love this model? First and foremost, they're relatively easy to implement. Um, Brilliant Directories comes out of the box with those 4 pillars that you need, and you can get up and running relatively quickly. Also, the ongoing operating costs are relatively low. You'd have to invest in traffic to your website, just like any website that you would have. You can find free and paid ways to bring traffic to your site. You need to develop the website itself, and it could be relatively inexpensive with Brilliant Directories. And once you start getting a little bigger as a company, you may need to provide some basic customer support to your professional members and the people who are submitting leads to your site. But the good news is their needs are very simple. The members just want to make sure that they're getting leads and they don't have any problems purchasing leads. And the people who are submitting leads want to make sure that they're not having any issues submitting leads to the website. So troubleshooting any issues should be relatively simple.
Yeah, some other great things are that lead distribution networks are incredibly easy to scale with unlimited profit potential. As Jason mentioned earlier on Thumbtack, you have pet trainers and dog walkers, and you can create a lead distribution network for any industry. As long as there's people out there who need to find other people who provide a needed service. And that's what a lot of our customers at Brilliant Directories do. They have dozens of websites, all providing a lead distribution network for various industries.
Once you can wrap your head around how to advertise your lead distribution network and drive traffic from both potential members and website visitors, you've cracked the code. And it's a little different for every industry because you need to market to every industry a little differently. But once you figure out that formula, you're right, David. I've seen people with dozens and dozens of Brilliant Directories websites who just replicate the same model in a different industry. And then each one of those provides a little bit of revenue for them, which adds up to a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Again, going back to those 4 pillars, every Brilliant Directories website automatically has those 4 pillars out of the box.
All right. Then lastly, with lead distribution networks, there are no physical products. There's nothing to store in your garage. There's no inventory like an e-commerce website. So you're really just providing an intangible service that's powered by the technology itself. So you don't have to go out to someone's house and fix their locks. The locksmith will do that you sell the lead to. And you're not going to be selling sweaters and t-shirts with kittens on them that are taking up space in your garage. So I really love this model because you're selling intangible services. There's nothing to store. There's no overhead in that sense. Here's a fun question. Have you ever used a lead distribution network? Meaning, thinking about it now, did you ever submit a lead to a website and then get matched with a professional? We're going to launch that poll right now. And we'd like to know how many of you out there, you may have not realized it, but how many of you out there have actually used a lead distribution network? It looks like 50% of people knowingly have used a lead distribution network. You were the people who submitted the leads and then got matched with professionals. 32% said no, and 15% said that they're not sure. All right, those are fun facts. Here's an even better fact. 90% of websites built on Brilliant Directories utilize the lead distribution model. Let's go back to 2009. When we first built Brilliant Directories, our first website was Interior Design Pro. We've since sold that site back in 2014, but the majority of our revenue on Interior Design Pro came from capturing leads on the website and selling them to the interior designers, decorators, and architects on that website. We would sell a lead up to 4 times, and we charged $25 per lead. So for every lead we captured, we made $100, up to $100. What we would do actually, though, is we would call the leads to make sure the phone number and the information provided was real. And our members really appreciated that because we kind of filtered out fake leads. You know, you're going to get fake leads. People are not going to put their real information sometime. So when our members purchased the leads, we knew that they were going to get somebody on the phone. So Brilliant Directories was built to be a lead distribution network. Now it serves multiple purposes as membership websites and directory websites and classifieds websites. But at its core, it is a lead distribution network solution.